the question is, for those that are online viewers to hear, Islam is recommending that people get married young. Is there any protection for young people not to marry someone who's too old, basically? Is that the question? Yeah. Okay. So Islam doesn't necessarily look at it as there's such a thing as too big of an age gap, right? So for example, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, in his first marriage, he married a woman that was much older than him, right? Khadija radiallahu anha, he was maybe 25, she was 40, according to some narrations or some scholars, right? So she was maybe 15 years older than him. In many societies, they may say, oh, it's not right. Usually the man should be older than the woman or the same age, for example. So the Prophet ﷺ, of course, was not a messenger of God at that time, but that was a marriage which was considered valid, and that was his very beloved wife after she passed away. They were already Muslims. He was already a messenger of God, and he mourned and grieved over her for a long time because of how much he loved her. So Islam looks at, for the marriage to be valid, the two parties need to be consenting, number one. So a person cannot get married without their permission, right? You cannot force either party into marriage, not the man nor the woman. Number two, there needs to be a love and a mercy and a tranquility there. If it's in a marriage which is abusive, which is one in which one or both parties hate each other, then this is not the way a marriage is supposed to be, right? And number three, each party needs to be able to give certain basic rights to one another. And those rights could be physical, like sexual rights, it could be financial, it could be these kind of things. So if either party is incapable of doing that, then that could also nullify the marriage, right? Because there are certain things that happen with age, obviously, to both men and women in terms of how their body can function or cannot function and things like that. So these would be some of the basic criterias that we would look at to say, can these two enter into a marriage or not? But there's no rule in Islam that strictly says the maximum gap that can exist between the two in age is 2 years, 5 years. No, there's no such thing.